All right, guys, I got gold over here. Um, I was gonna do a quick video on it. Let me see here. Okay, so I was talking about the 3 month, the quarterly chart, right? And I was saying that the hyperwave over here was negative, that it needed to turn positive because we had positive cash flow coming in, right? Just the hyperwave was still in the negative. Today it turned green, right? So that's one up, and the daily did simultaneously. Unfortunately, I like building a position, and I don't chase stocks. So when they go up like that, I'm like, I'm gonna have to back away. You're gonna have to retrace or come back down to a level that I could probably purchase in at a good price. We got the premium zone right here, which is where it's currently at. In the premium zone, I'm not going to buy the premium zone. You're insane. If I would have seen, we would have seen this chart. We would have talked about this maybe about a month ago or something. Was that June? Or hell, somewhere in August, the beginning of August, I might have, I would have established a position of some sort, right? It would have been on my radar, but it's not. It already made this huge move, and it's in the premium zone. So I'm not going to do that, right? It's going to have to come back at least. I don't know. It looks like you might find support right here around $17. Anything in the $17 range, I'll nibble at it. Hope that it goes down to, you know, $16 range, right? And then just keep on nibbling at it all the way down. And then once I get in position, then we're all good. But anyways, that's besides the point, right? The point is that this chart's looking good, right? You got this big accumulation zone that happened right here, right? This one and this one together. You got 54% of all the buying is in this zone, right? On the quarterly chart, which is roughly around, I would say $12 give or take. I'll round up, right? It's at 53 or something. Let's round up. Let's say $12 give or take. So that's gonna be like 12, 13, 14-ish, 11, 10-ish, right? Somewhere in there. That is the zone to be purchasing gold right here, right? What else? Okay, so yeah, it's gonna break out of this one, I believe, pretty soon, right? This one's looking really sexy. We did have a a blue, you know, bar. You call it that. I would say it's more like maybe a histogram, but yeah. Anyways, it's positive, right? So then you got these joining together, going in the same direction, right? So that's a good thing. That's a good sign for the quarterly, right? We go to the monthly over here. It's bumping up against that downward trend, so it's going to try to force its way out. And like I said, there was another. No, this is on the monthly chart. Yeah, the monthly chart, not the quarterly chart. Quarterly chart goes back further, so it's right here close to your face. So on this one, you're say the $14 range, give or take a few bucks, rather than the $12 range. The algorithms look good. It's positive. Look at all that buying. Like this bar right here represents 1 month, right? It's counting for the candle. Almost 100% of this month so far has been nothing but buying, according to this, right? You see this oscillation, how it goes, it's coiling. It goes green, red, green, red, green, but it's primarily to the up position. It's going to snap and pop. That's the way I see that. It's sloping up. I'm trying to catch it. If she'll come to me, baby, just come down to me. Come down to like $16, and I'll pick you up off your feet, right? But yeah. So the algorithms are suggesting it to be kind of like in the upward phase, like it's going to break out of this downward trend, right? Um, Everything's positive on more or less, other than the trend itself, but you can tell the accumulation zone right here. That's what I was telling Dish when he showed me that first chart. I said that looks like an accumulation zone. it is. It's right here, right? And there was one prior to that though on the quarterly chart. So then we go to the weekly, right? And get down to the more nitty gritty. The weekly's on an upward trend. So you go to the weekly, you say maybe right there, yeah, it's around anything in the $60 range, even high $16. Just nibble at it a little bit, right? As long as it don't break the trend. I only really want to purchase anytime it's touching the bottom end of this trend. I don't want to buy up here. That's insane for me. That's crazy man right there buying up here. No, 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 no. We buy low, so high. That's the way it works. Otherwise, it's not for me. It can run without me. I don't care. I'll pay attention to something else. So yeah, it's still the negative right here. There's a possibility you can see a pullback, right? Still got some negative cash flow. The oscillator is going. It's like a sideways upward move, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see this slope, change to a lower degree angle, right? And then we got the daily over here, right? And then you got the premium zone and then the discount zone, right? I don't have that on this one. Then you got the TA. You got this right here. It's called a rising wedge. Anticipating a downside move, but I don't know about that. Looking at the quarterly chart, if it does have a downside move, most likely it'll be bought out pretty quick, and it does have this upward trajectory anyway. On top of that, so this is the trend right here where it's currently at. So any kind of pullback into this area, I would expect to be bought out, right? Around $17. I would say anything under $17. They would have to make a quick move in order to get there and keep in. But sometimes you could break below the trend and still keep the trend intact, as long as they don't break like too far down. Then it's over with. Yeah, upward trajectory right here on the 200-day algorithm. All right, upward trajectory. Anything above the center line is positive territory. Below it's negative territory, just like it is on this one here. Right. These are the moving averages, the smaller ones, and that's 200. So, but this is what I found really, really interesting myself, right? Go to was it the weekly or the monthly? Hold on. Yes, it was a little bit of both. Okay, so like it's suggesting a deep value right here. That's what it's suggesting. The because we all know the intrinsic value of it was like $25 to $30 or $40. Yeah, look back at it. It's on the terminal, right? We all know that. But for it to be in this oversold area on the monthly, or how would they call it, to the extreme, to the downside, not oversold. Well, for it to be here, this would consider value area. This would be like the discount zone, right? So like that's deep value right there. But it's still in a downtrend. So yeah. And then you go to the weekly. You got the anticipating a breakout to either side. Of course, it's going to break out to the top side. It's in the upward trend. Look, and then it's slowly turning up. So the algo's pointing up. On the weekly, it's just a lot of up and down, a lot of sideways action. I would expect a buying opportunity. Um, within a couple of weeks, if not sooner. It's in positive territory. Once it makes it in positive territory on the weekly, then we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. But still, it's in the value zone right here also. And if you look at it down here, like how I said, the monthly was deep value because it was pretty much like, way down below this below the zero mark, right? The halfway mark. It was like far away from it. And they stretch a rubber band out wants to pop close, right? So more or less, like this right here was considered way to the extreme, to the downside, like the pendulum, right? How it swings from one to the next, right? So yeah, as soon as the moving averages started crossing, you started seeing some whale pumps, green bars that would have all said the same thing, positive, for how far it is. I mean, we could draw a line across it just to mark it, space and time, right, for how long it was, and then when it went up, right. This is the space right here, right. Was it the space is from here to here, and the time is from here to here, right? And then it goes parabolic. So that's that. But the daily, it's an uptrend. It's a lot of chop. I expect buying opportunity. Fibs. That's right. Let's see here. Go here. Turn that on. Okay. So on the weekly, right here, on the weekly, you got 3 fib targets, right? So we got $20. Well, I would say that's $22 and $23. Okay, that's on the weekly, right? Monthly, and typically there's projections to the downside. That didn't have projections to the downside. It was only to the upside. That's what's up. That's pretty fucking awesome, right? So let's see here. I think the quarterly had projections to the downside though. So right here, this is the monthly. You got 21. You got 25. And you got 26. And this right here is considered resistance. So if it makes it up to there at 25, that'll be pretty cool. But if you notice that there was more buying than selling in here, and typically when you get a move into a resistance zone where it was heavier on the buying than selling, that means the selling is weak as shit. That means they can't even sell you down anymore, and if it breaks it, it's going to thrust up, right? So the bias, this was more of a support zone than it was a sell zone. And if the sellers can't push it down, if the sellers can't keep it from going up, then this is a weak resistance zone because it was previously a buy zone. It was biased to the buys and then to the sells, if that makes any sense. And you can also look at the percentage. What is it? It's a 17, right? And that's a 15. Well, it has more volume to it. And because there was more buying than selling, it was 2 billion, 2.28 billion. This has 2.6 billion. So yeah, there was more money there. So we did that, and then we go to the quarterly, right? The quarterly has fib targets to the downside too. It has 3 fib targets to the downside right here. First one is $12. Second one is like $6, maybe $7. And the third one is like $3, maybe $4. High threes, maybe 4. So that's the fib targets for the quarterly on the downside, right? And there's a lot of support right here. I wouldn't expect it to get that far, It's got more support than it does. It has more buying than it does selling. Right here, you got 45% of the selling, then you got 54% of the buying, and it outweighs that. So the buying is actually stronger, right? Simple math. But if we look at it, well, yeah, of course, this is going to have more buying in it than selling, and this one's going to have more selling than buying. It's 10.5 billion, 12 billion. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, there's strong support right there. I don't think it'll ever break to get down to this other fib target right here, the center one, $6 to $7. I don't think so. I feel comfortable with buying anything in this zone, you know. So that's just me though. So yeah, that was a fib target. That was gold. Running over it real quick. I don't have cycle analysis on it yet. I can get it on there. It's a time-consuming process, and I would also put metals on there. Maybe I'll put silver on there. Just for some more reference, some more substance, right? So we got a 3 buying opportunity. Was back here, upward trend. That was a buy signal. We had a buy signal here. Cash flows positive on daily. You got the money flowing in positively. You see this coiling going on here. It's just getting ready. It's accumulation every time, right? So accumulation, then pop. It's like that's the way the trend's facing. And then if you do with the support, I guess from a sideways horizontal level, right? I mean, there's so many different. We could sit here for hours just discussing this stuff, but I got to go. That was gold. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.